we're so excited to be in your overlook home.
Thank you.
And the fact that you live next to your very good friend Ruthie, we'll
Yes.
go see her house in a few minutes. But we wanted to start in your house first, in your living room, which is huge for an overlook home, an older home. It expands up from the hallway, entrance hallway, all the way to the back, and it's allowed you to have various seating arrangements, correct? So you've got one against the fireplace and then one here. And then what's allowed you to have all this wonderful color is this nice neutral wall. It's kind of a cream color, correct?
Yes, I did that intentionally. I painted the living room a white color so it could showcase the artwork because the artwork is pretty bright and bold, and so I thought the white would temper that somewhat, and I added color in other places.
Well, yeah, definitely. And so you were saying that a lot of the paintings came from when you sold your beach condo.
Beach house.
And have brought a lot of it here, and then you've painted some too,
Yes,
correct?
and some are also from my river house. So I've combined 3 houses in this house, so that's why it's a little cluttered. But I like that, so I'm a maximalist.
I was going to say, do you call yourself a maximalist? Because I certainly would call you that. So the color that I'm kind of seeing that weaves all the way through is this like really beautiful aqua turquoise kind of color. So you've got it here and on the pillow in those chairs, but you've also got it kind of picked up in some of your artwork. So like a lot of beach scenes. But then the way you've hung your art, you've got a myriad of different kind of frames and different kinds of some drawings, some oils, some watercolors. So you make it look effortless, but I know there's got to be a little bit of a secret to it.
Well, the effortless part is calling Steve Bohannon, who helped me out. So I want to give him a plug here.
But you obviously laid it out.
We did lay it out, and in my old house on Broadway, I had all landscapes in my living room.
Okay.
And then I hung the more bold art in other parts of the house. But when I moved here, I thought, I want to mix it up more.
Okay.
And my color inspiration started with this sort of this acid yellow green and the turquoise. And Martha Gregory helped me pick out these fabrics for this, and then I wanted something very neutral on the sofa. So this is where the color inspiration started.
Okay, so it was this color as opposed to the turquoise.
Well, it was the turquoise too.
Mixed with that, gotcha.
Those color mix. And then when I was in Montgomery, I found the fabric. It's a Kate Spade fabric that I used on the chaise lounge and the pillow.
All right, so now we're on the other side of the room. So that side of the room is more just for conversation, and this area is also for conversation, but you've also got the fireplace to enjoy. Right. So tell me about this chaise. This is fabulous.
Well, thank you.
Because it's kind of low.
It is. I bought it at a antique store in Panama City.
Okay.
And it stayed in my college roommate's garage for a year and a half. She lives there, and I couldn't get it to Columbus, but finally we got it in Columbus. And it was in the library area over here. But I moved it here last winter because I can sit and have a fire, and I can look out front and I can look out back. So this has become my premier winter reading spot.
Oh, I love that.
I love it too, and it's very comfortable, and my grandson loves it. That's where Champ likes to sit and read when he comes.
Okay, because that's that's nice to hear in terms of like you found how this room can function for you. It's not just a beautiful room. You're using this room and finding ways to enjoy to be able to look out different windows, enjoy the fire. And then at one point, this house, this part of the house was a screened-in porch.
Yes.
When Martha Flournoy, who was a Martin.
The Martins owned the house and lived here forever, and this was a screened porch that they took in to enlarge the living room. Okay. And then they added this little card room for Mrs. Martin. I believe that's what they called it on the place.
So that's a bump out on the front of the house, because at one point, these two houses that we'll go see Ruthie's next door were built in the same year by the same builder and were twin houses.
They were. Albert Dudley, I believe, was the builder.
Okay, yes.
That's what Martha told me. And I added the bookcases and made that a little library.
Oh, I love it. I love it. And some more collections of your seashells, obviously from your beach
From the
condo.
beach, and I picked up a lot of those. Not all, but most of those I picked up. Yes, a lot of things from the beach.
And then, like, tell me about some of these, the glass up again on the mirror that just is showing your love of the ocean and.
Well, I'm just attracted. Green is my very favorite color, and obviously blue's coming on as a favorite color too. But I bought these at C.K. Swan in Highlands.
Okay.
And I bought this at Charles Phillips Antiques in down near Mobile. Fabulous antique store. You should try going there sometimes. And I bought this in the North Georgia mountains. But it's just sort of been pieced together, but it all sort of just goes together. So this is my summer arrangement. I have a different arrangement in the winter.
Okay, but it's so pretty to see. There's just so much for the eye to look at, and you are a master of just the way you arrange it and curate it and display things where it's just it's not just a mass of objects. I mean, like this is just to die for, the way you've got this all arranged with a coral and the little glass balls and little starfish up against a Natasha Zupan, I see.
My favorite painting that I own, that would be my favorite. Alan gave that to me.
Oh, it's beautiful.
And I love that painting.
Okay, so what I love about your style of decorating too, a lot of people, like for the holidays, clear off everything and take everything away, clear it all off and add Christmas stuff. They get all the Christmas stuff. But it sounds like you're of the school of you add to what you have.
Yes,
right?
I do, yes.
So for example, what do you add to this?
I add pearls and beads of other kinds. And then I add other things that are some Angelica pieces that are sea related and
within this,
in that, and
okay.
I put it on a big piece of fabric and I add pearls. It's pretty opulent looking. It's real pretty, and I enjoy doing it. And so I don't use red and green. I use turquoise or I use gold and white or whatever.
Okay, so you don't just
I don't do traditional colors in this area. In the other parts of the house I do. But
and then what, like with the fireplace, you were saying you changed that up. How do you change that up for Christmas?
Well, I use a lot of live greenery.
Okay.
And then I use.
But do you take down the vases?
I do. I take everything
off.
You do. And I have different candelabra that I'll use.
Okay.
I do it differently every year.
Okay.
So it just sort of evolves and it happens, and get everything out and just start doing it. And it's a fun day for me. My birthday is December the 2nd. Okay. So I always love to stay at home on my birthday and decorate for Christmas.
Nice. So obviously you must have a big storage closet somewhere to add to where you can store some of your, which is key to. Yeah, so that's not all out, that you can replace things and switch things out. So, and so then you just got like here, I love all your coffee table books that you've got stacked up, and then some of the old books here. And then like you said, you built in all these bookshelves over here, and this room is just with all this light that comes in. It's just such a great spot. Okay, so you also collect pottery, and then you make some of the pottery yourself, you said, and your daughter? So tell, like, for example, here's a little display of some pottery pieces, so tell us about a few of these pieces.
Okay, I just started looking around my house, and everything that had a face motif, I sort of landed it on this tray. And this is how I like to layer things. I have a wooden tray, an Italian wooden tray, and then an acrylic base, and then just to raise and lower things. But this is an artifact from South America that Alan collected. Mary Rayleigh, my daughter, made this. Amy Foss, my goddaughter, made this one. And then Jerry Brown, who's a very famous potter and represented in the Smithsonian collection, made that. And then this is his grandson, and this was given to me by a friend who recently died, so that's a treasure for me.
But that is key, I think, of like when you have a collection of small little items like that, containing them on a tray.
Yes.
So that it does read kind of as you can see each one, but read as one. It's not all scattered and lost over especially a big room like this. So do you have other pottery pieces?
Yes, I do. I want to show you a couple of these. My friend Ann Eason lives in Apalachicola, and she made this. She's an artist there, and is not doing her artwork right now, but I'm hoping she's getting back into the studio soon. But this was a gift from Ann, as was that beautiful bowl that has the antique books in it on the table.
Okay, this piece over here.
And she made this as well. This is illuminates with a candle in it. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that pretty? I love that. That's a favorite piece of mine as well.
This is my favorite color ever. I've been through so many homes, but I've always remembered walking in your entrance hall and being greeted by this blue color. It's called Gentle Aquamarine by Sherwin-Williams.
That's right.
And it's just such a happy color
It
that just leads into your living room, picking up on the tones of those colors of this wall. But it allows this your porcelain plates to really pop.
Yes, I collect Indian tree porcelain, and
that's what this is.
It is, and I took one of the plates to the Sherwin-Williams store.
Okay.
And that's how I matched it. And I like the color so much; it's so vibrant and pretty that I painted the little library nook.
Yes,
the same color.
Okay, now I'm
so I liked it a lot, and so
Well, that is a good way to tie in. You've got this beautiful color, this beautiful aqua color. Then you got white here, and then bringing it back in into the library, and then picking up on the color in your upholstery and pillows. And then you just skirted this table here.
Yes, that's storage under there.
See,
it's where I keep all of my records and financial papers and things that I have to see once in a while. Old scrapbooks, old Bible study books, a lot of things. It's very handy.
And then this beautiful trim on the bottom that picks up on this acidy kind of color that you've got there.
Yes.
It's just a beautiful room. And then, but then you're not afraid just to add these orientals on the floor. They've got a lot of reds and pinks and just adding more color. But the colors are kind of picking up in the plates.
Yes, there's a little of this color in the plate. But this rug was the inspiration for painting the dining room. And that's what led to that. I sort of wanted to mimic this color here, this pretty corally color, and pretty much got it, I think.
I think you did too. All right, so last time I was here, this dining room was white, the same color as your living room. So what a surprise to walk into this vibrant, it's kind of like a coral color, and you said it's called
Charisma by Sherwin-Williams.
By Sherwin-Williams.
Yes.
And it just, once again, like the blue in the entrance hall, allows your porcelain plates just to really stand out in all of your artwork. And so you were telling me these were updated by Allison Wickham.
Yes, Allison's done a lot of painting for me.
Okay.
And those were old gold, black, and red brackets, and so she took the colors that I'm using now and incorporated those into the color scheme of them, and I just absolutely love them.
I love that. And then this is one of your paintings.
Yes,
you said it's an encaustic.
Yes, I took a class from Shelley Helms, and that was my first one that I did, and I loved it. And I've not loved the others that I've done since then nearly as much as the first one.
And then some of your other artwork you've got around here. You said Tom Graffinino.
Yes, Tom Graffinino did the collages on either side, and they're done with gouache.
Okay.
And they're just beautiful. And we've had those forever, but they are still among my favorite things.
And then Shirley Baker
Little did that.
Okay.
And the coral color on the wall really did make that scene. I just think it.
I mean, it really makes a difference.
It does.
But sometimes you just like have to live with color for a little bit, and then painting a wall is the most inexpensive update you can
really
do.
is.
It just made this whole room
instant gratification. And Tom Graffinino also did these drawings.
Oh wow!
And the detail on these is exquisite.
They really are.
And these are originals that he did many years ago.
Okay, and then while we're on this side of the dining room, I wanted to point out this incredible molding.
Yes.
You just don't see this in homes from the 1930s, because this was added at one point,
yes,
right?
it was. When the Martins bought, I think the house was built in around 1945. And when the Martins did an extensive remodeling, Mr. Martin added all of this beautiful work.
Because it's even with the pocket doors.
Yes. And so this was, when I walked to the house, this is what first grabbed me, was this. And the second thing that grabbed me was the courtyard. And so those were the two things that really,
two selling points.
really made me want to buy this house from Brian Turner.
And then what I love, what you were saying about this room too, it's a multifunctional room, so it's not only your dining room,
It is.
but it's also your art studio with all this light. So this is your breakfast room?
Yes.
Okay. And so a lot of these pieces you said came from the river.
Yes,
when you
they
sold your
did.
house at the river. So like what, this?
That was at the river. These
The
chairs, the mirror,
Okay,
all of
this mirror.
the Majolica and transferware was at
Okay.
the river. And of course this chair, this was a chair.
Oh, look at that. That's beautiful.
Isn't that pretty? I have another one in the basement, but I don't have a place for it. And this was the fabric that I had on a lot of the things at the river.
Okay. And then, so then tell me about this. You had a nice little story about
Yes,
that.
I did. That was a gift from one of my father's buddies from World War II, who was from Columbus, Ohio. And when he and his wife, they had no children. And when they were aging, they would spend winters in Florida, and they would come through and see our family. And so one time, when they were traveling through, they brought it and gave it to me. They wanted me to have it. So I thought that was
that's sweet. And then this is another piece of the pottery from your
my friend
friend.
Ann Easton made this artichoke for me, and I love the blue glaze on it. If you could get a detail of that, it's just so beautiful. And I thought it looked pretty with the Villeray and Bosch porcelain.
Well, and that's what you're so good at, of mixing things that you have and added, like who would have ever thought to like add that to the middle, like where it's obviously a different piece, you know, but it fits so perfect, but it's perfect. I mean, it just adds so much interest. And then what I love also too, you've got all these open shelves, so you can see everything, but you use everything.
I use these things, and I just try to display it as attractively as I can, because I don't have a lot of storage, and I have to use these for these shelves for storage, and I chose not to have doors on the cabinets, and so it's just a necessity. And so, you know, it's just not everybody's style, I know, but as I said earlier, I am a maximalist, and I'd rather find a place for something so I see it than have it in the basement or in a drawer or a closet. So,
I agree. Beautiful things need to be loved and seen and appreciated, as opposed to just hidden away but they need to be displayed correctly. They don't not just haphazardly in the counter on the shelves. But and then you said at the river you had wooden countertops that you love, so you copied that idea here.
I did. Bill Foss built a beautiful surprise for me when I redid the river, and it was a heart pine, gorgeous countertop for the kitchen island that was really a big, pretty island. And so I was so crazy about it, I knew I wanted to have it at this house, so I did the wooden countertop here and in the laundry room, and Valley Fir and Redwood did it.
Okay. And then to open up the space, you've mirrored the back, so that allows all this light to come through.
The light.
Because here's the window over here. So for being a small space, it's such a warm, cozy, light-filled room.
And these were all, these three areas were very compartmentalized when I bought the house. There was a door here, and so I opened this up and raised the opening, and then I raised this door and made it high. I didn't raise this one for some reason, I can't remember why, but I did do the trim at the same height, so the trim on this and that door and this door is the same. So I like.
The kitchen is right off the little breakfast room, and it's such a great place where you've got you can cook in here obviously, but you've got plants in here that you're nursing in the window, all your orchids. You've got books that all your cookbooks, open storage again with the glass front, so you can see all your beautiful china. And I love how you got the ceiling painted green, which is the color in the wall in the breakfast room.
Allison Wickham was over doing some painting for me, some decorative painting, and she said, why don't you paint the ceiling in the kitchen the green to tie in with these two rooms? And I said, great idea, Allison, and so I did.
And then that color goes into your little laundry room pantry over here.
And so trying to use the three areas as one area, because the kitchen itself is only about 11 by 11 feet, so that's very small for a kitchen. So by opening it up, I hope I've given it the illusion of being bigger than it is.
Well, I like how you've got it opened up, but it's not like one huge big giant space, so therefore there's they're still kind of designated little rooms, which makes it more intimate, a little cozier. So tell me about some of the other like pieces of art that you, okay, I'm just now looking up here at all these baskets. I love that.
Well, I use all of those, and so I wanted open shelving so it would be easy to get to those things. I use those. And the artwork in here, well, I love these are some more of Tom Graffinito's, and I just love those on that spot.
And he was an architect, right?
I don't know that. I don't know that about
Okay.
him. But he was certainly a talented artist and one of the nicest men you could ever meet. He's just a dear man. And then these are pastels by Maud Andrews.
Okay.
I bought the top one and then I commissioned the bottom one. And I told him that green was my favorite color and I wanted him to do some green in it. So I love the cows that he did.
And then you told me tonight you're having some friends come over, so you've made a
I've made
tomato pies.
But
So you're also an artist and a cook, cook here.
I'm not a very good artist, but I'm a better artist than I am cook.
So what I love when you were talking about like for Thanksgiving or if you have friends over, so this, not only do you have it all displayed with your collections, but then you just clear it off and it becomes a buffet where you serve.
Yes, and so I serve holiday meals from here, and if I have a dinner party, which I'm having a little small party tonight, I'll put the food items over there and serve from there.
And then this table, when you're saying for Thanksgiving, then you put your desserts there,
on that table.
and then people come right over here and make themselves a drink. So it's nice. These smaller rooms, it forces you to contain everything here, and people know exactly where to find the food, the desserts, the drinks. They're not looking all over the house for it. And then, so as we walk in through the kitchen, then this is so cute back here. So this is your laundry room, but it's an example of how no rooms are not decorated.
Right. Everything, well, as I said, I don't have a lot of storage in this house, so things have to be displayed. And so I thought I could be a little funky in the laundry room, so I've hung some things that are sentimental, have sentimental value, and then put trays that I don't use very often on the wall. But this, I just had a lot of these things in the drawer, and one day I thought, well, I'm just going to get these things out and display them, and I love it.
Yeah, so like, yes, exactly. So your laundry room doesn't have to be just a cold room where you're not, you don't have any of your things that you enjoy seeing. So you've got even some of your plates stacked up over here.
Yes.
You said this was, once you had your pots and pans on here.
I had all of my cookware there.
And then this beautiful green color is uniting all these rooms. And you said it's either dill pickle or jalapeno pepper.
It's a food item, and I can't remember which.
And then you've got your coffee maker back here because you said you don't like appliances in your kitchen.
That's right.
So it's such a great little cozy little laundry room, and then it goes right out to your back door.
Yes, where we have our grill and sometimes cook out there.
So the den, which is right in the middle of the home, off the big living room and off the kitchen, is such a nice, warm, little cozy spot where you can watch TV. But you've also got it filled with art and some of your pottery pieces that you've done and some of your friends have done. So, okay, so like for example, this piece you says another by your friend that did some of the ones in the living room.
Yes, and Eason from Apalachicola. And then the larger piece is from Eastern Europe, and
This
I got
one?
that at Charles
Okay.
Phillips. And then my friend David Parker brought me a bouquet of turkey feathers, and so I decided to put those in the vase. And I just love the turkey feathers that he gave me.
And so then the aqua turquoisey color that you've got here on the chair is a little bit darker than the color that you've got in the living room, but just it unites. You start seeing your colors uniting in the rooms, and the same color that's on the walls here is in your living room. And this beautiful oriental rug in shades of reds. It just adds like such a depth to this room. Love it. And then tell me about this coffee table.
Well, the coffee table was my grandmother's kitchen table, and I cut it down, had the base cut off and flattened it, and we use it for eating and games, and puzzles, and we can also use it for an ottoman, so we can put our feet up and be comfortable.
Well, and I love that people inherit furniture, and it doesn't always have to be used for what it was intended
That's
for
right,
originally. Don't
that's
be
right.
afraid to. It's better to use it to maybe cut it down than to store it,
It
and not to use it at all.
I wanted to use it in the breakfast room, but when we moved it into the breakfast room, it was just far too large. So
That's a great
Aaron
solution.
Cowart at Valley Fir and Redwood made the table.
Okay.
It's custom made, and he made that for me. And I love the table, and it's a little modern looking. I don't know if you noticed that, but it's got a little modern flair to it. But this one, we've moved back in here, made it into the coffee table here.
And then I bet you used it a lot when you said your grandson was here this week.
Yes.
So a lot of games probably played on this table.
I have a little chair for him.
Oh, cute.
And so he likes to sit here and color and play and do his trucks and all that. Yes, we had a great time.
And then this art installation here on the wall is just fabulous. So,
Thank you.
So you've got a mixture of paintings again, some from your beach house, you said, and then you said you painted this one,
I did,
which is
years ago.
oil,
Yes,
correct?
an oil from
And
long
then
ago.
that one over there you
Yes.
painted during COVID.
Yes.
And tell me the name of it.
I named that one Flatten the Curve.
I love it.
And
Love it.
that was a COVID painting.
And then this is Mode Andrews.
Mode Andrews.
And then the blue bonnets up there.
Blue
are
bonnets
so
that
pretty.
Alan bought. We bought that on a trip to San Antonio.
Okay.
And so we always, that's how we accumulated a lot of the art that we have. We always bought something when we traveled.
Well, that was nice. That was
It
that
was.
that was something you and your husband both enjoyed
We did,
doing.
very
was,
much so.
was going to antique stores and buying objects and art and stuff. That was a passion for both of you. And then I love also how on this love seat on either end to kind of unify things. You've got the matching lamps. That's always a good
That's
way
right.
to kind of pull things. I think
Yes.
together, even though
Yes.
the tables don't match, but and once again they're pottery, which kind of
Ties in with the other pottery.
pulls in all your.
I had another sofa in here, but it was just far too large for this small room. And so I found this small size sofa at Henson Galleries. And while I was there, I saw the lamps. I said, well, I have to have the lamps
Have
too
to have
to
the
complete the
lamps
look.
too, yeah.
So I thought it ended up working out real well for this room since it is a.
So the guest room is painted the same color,
As the
green,
kitchen.
as your kitchens.
It is.
And then you've had Allison Wickham come in and paint. You said this was your mother's?
That was my mother's and this little
And the
secretary.
secretary, and it's just, I mean, she does such a fabulous
Doesn't
job
she?
of repurposing
She does.
old furniture to kind of make it more modern. And so then the fabric on the curtain, you said is Tebow.
Tebow, and it has a lot of the blue and white in it. And so a lot of the accessories in the room, I just used blue and white. But isn't that
It's
beautiful?
just so pretty. Such a happy
It is
print.
a happy print.
Happy print.
And the
I love-
raspberry pink, I
I
love
was
that
gonna say,
raspberry.
I love how you're not afraid to pull that raspberry pink in here,
Yes.
and just spark up the room. And then
Maudie
Maudie
Huff.
Huff.
Isn't that beautiful?
it's beautiful.
And that's a early painting by Maudie. And she hadn't seen it in many years and came by and saw it not long
Oh,
ago and
nice.
really liked it. I was
Nice.
so pleased. She said, I really like that. I'm so glad she liked it.
No, it looks so pretty against this wall
Doesn't
color.
it? It's perfect.
And then
for
you've
that.
got Jill Phillips over there.
Yes, I do. I love Jill. I took painting classes from Jill for many years.
Okay.
And so yes, I hung those there as a little tribute to her
And
her
then
talents.
and then your childhood bed that
Yes.
Allison Wickham
Yes,
refurbished and repainted
she
also.
painted that for me. It was an old canopy
That's
bed with a
awesome.
foot, what do you call, foot headboard and footboard, and so we
Okay.
didn't use that, but she painted that for me. So
And there you go. You've just freshened up a lot
I
of
did.
old
I
pieces and repurposed and given them new life, and then just added some, just some cheery, bright fabric,
yes.
and it's such a happy spot that any guest would love to stay
Well,
in.
I hope so. And I want you to notice the curtain rods. I love the curtain rods.
Bamboo.
In my bedroom and this room, that is the bamboo, and I thought it looked really well with the Asian
Oh, gosh,
influence of the
you're
fabric.
right.
So,
Definitely. So we came in off the den down to the sunken garden. You called it the
courtyard.
But it's a Charleston
Courtyard. Mary Riley attended the College of, graduated from the College of Charleston, and we went on garden tours there where we would visit, and I was just so captured by it. So when I saw this, when I came to look at the house, there was nothing in here, nothing. And so I really fell in love with it and wanted to create a Charleston
Did
garden.
you add the brick?
No,
The brick,
everything was already
was
here.
here.
The
Okay.
wrought iron was here.
Okay.
But I want to show you this one feature over here. So let me walk over here and show you.
So
this.
nothing was here. You just added all the patio furniture.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And the plants. There were no plants.
And the plants. Okay.
This too came from the house at 1712 Elmwood.
Okay.
And I've carried this from home to home, and it's been in the garage or in storage.
Oh, it's just
and I
beautiful.
wanted to use it here, but of course you can see that it doesn't fit. So Harry Averett, who's a Columbus native, and like my son, is a Charleston artist now himself. He's a blacksmith and does metal art. He designed this and made this for me, and he replicated the height of the pillar, and so he made this piece like this so it would fit. Isn't that beautiful?
Oh, that really is.
And
that's
it's very
beautiful.
special. I love it.
Well, I like you say, that's a way to, like, you got something special, like the gate of, like, there are artists to be able to add on to it and make you be able to use something that you
and it's
love.
got a story too,
Yeah, it's
because
got a
it
story.
came from a house where we previously lived, and it was completed by a young man that means a lot to me. So
well, we love
really,
Harry Averett. He's a good guy.
He is a good guy.
And then I love all your fig vine that just softens all this brick.
That was there, and it needs trimming, so don't look too carefully. But most of it died back with the freeze we had this Christmas. But it is making it's really come back.
But I love it's just very simple back here. It's just fig vine, ferns, some boxwood, some impatiens, and your green and black color scheme. And so it's just a very soothing, a few little pink plants, but it's just a very soothing place to come back to and just relax. There's no jarring colors, not too many different things.
No, and that's the point. I like in my whole aesthetic for my yard, I don't like a lot of different plants. I'm not a big flower person. I love texture and greenery, and that's what I've done here.